Oakley's a grumpy grump, aren't you, sweetie? Well, come here. Do you want to sit on my lap? Oakley. Hi, everyone, and those watching on Rewatch, the Rewatch crew. I appreciate you guys more than ever. Thank you um, for watching our videos and keeping up with everything. Sometimes, sometimes our page has got lots of ups and lots of funny stuff. And hey, no, 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 no. You don't do that here, okay? Sometimes we have lots of funny stuff and everything, and new things going on, and exciting friendships. And then sometimes we have sad stuff. And I know as hey, no! Oh, you little devil! No, you don't. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Come here. Here, come here. What's that? That's not a good boy, right? We don't need another one of those. Okay? Anyways, I know you've gotten attached to my birds and my animals, and it's really hard on you to follow along with the good and the bad. But hopefully, the good outweighs the bad, and you can all learn from my experience what it's like to live with a bunch of animals. So I'm not reading the chat because if I see people saying stuff, it'll make me cry. So, Dr. McDonald, oh my gosh, she is like the kindest, like, oh my gosh, if anyone loves, I don't think there's anyone that loves animals more than her. She was up all night with Duncan. She is, something else. I mean, Duncan is just this little 70-gram little soul. But she treats them all the same. You have a beautiful bird that's worth $25,000, a rare bird. And I know that she thinks even the little tiny ones are important too. Equally important. And if anything, I think we all can take a lesson in that. Duncan was my first bird. I had Jamie, but like Jamie was at the the care home that I worked at, and I wanted a bird so bad like Jamie, so I actually bought Duncan from the bird store, and then Jamie came to join us. So Duncan was my first bird. She ended up not being able to breathe last night. She was in a breathing emergency. So that's that. And she was sent off with lots of love. Um, I'm not reading the chat, so you guys, because I don't want to get sidetracked. Izzy is going to the vet tomorrow. She's been having diarrhea, as you know, with no control over her bowels right now, and not eating. Not eating. So hopefully, and today she had, so we've been giving like 4 or 5 baths a day, and the one this afternoon she did eat a little. We've been giving her rice and chicken and a little bit of kibble, and the food she ate this morning kind of went right through her, undigested. So I don't know what's that about. But I got some medication for her yesterday, but it's hard for her to swallow because it's a pill to giant, and she needs to take like 4 of them, 3 times a day. So we'll see how that appointment goes tomorrow. I'm hoping that it's just like a stomach issue. It's been going on since Friday, and she's probably eaten maybe 2 cups of food since then. She's really thirsty, but she's strong, right? But right now you can see she's tired. She's tired. So I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going on with her right now. The doctor said maybe the tumor on her liver is actually affecting other things in other organs right now. So we'll see. But she's going to do blood work tomorrow on Izzy and test the liver enzymes. So that's where we are with that. Coco, we've got the low blood sugar problem, but the doctor thinks that is okay. Oakley, what is going on with you today? You're just the grumpiest grumper. You're yelling at me, and you don't want me to talk to anybody. I don't know. So, Coco's gonna have her blood sugar taken again, and then we can confirm the diagnosis of what the pancreatitis. So, do you want treats? You want treats? Yeah. Oakley. Where are we at? Okay, so You guys know I always do a fundraiser in memory of my birds that passed. And I think with Duncan, her being my first bird, without her, I would never start my business, would never have changed my life. So right now, one of the nest birds, an Amazon, needs a CT scan. He has a lot of different symptoms, and the doctor can't connect them to one specific thing. So she would love to be able to have a CT scan so she could diagnose what's wrong with him. He is losing weight and lethargic and all the other wonderful things that go along with a sick bird. So a CT scan would be $1,000 for the scan, and then on top of that, it's $600 for the scan to be sent away to a specialist. Hold on, I'm getting these birds treats because they're driving me bonkers. Oakley needs a treat. I don't know what's wrong with Oakley. Yesterday Brad had people over, so the birds didn't get the outside time that they're used to, so I don't know if that's that or Sid had to be treated like a second-class citizen, didn't she, Oakley? She had to be brought in with the birds. You want the nut? Okay. So anyway, so that would be 1,600 Canadian for the CT scan. Also the nest really needs a new air cleaner, another air cleaner because of the more birds than just, they only have 2 air cleaners and they need 1 for the middle room. And now we'll move on to our other big situation. I'd love to do a fundraiser for Greyhaven. There's been stuff going on with that rescue right now, and I'd love to be able to refocus the attention back to the birds. You got to know that, I don't know if any of you guys know what's going on. That's okay. No need to know it. It's not important. What's important is the birds that are under their care. You guys all understand, people who love animals are passionate people, right? And the people that love animals that are willing to dedicate their whole lives to them are probably more passionate. They're not perfect by any means, and neither is anyone else. But they dedicated their life to helping the animals. And I love that about anybody, no matter who the personality is. I found myself in situations where I don't like years ago, and I've learned since then that perhaps I have conflict with a person, but that doesn't mean I should lash out at the person. In the end, it's about the birds, right? So I'd love to be able to do something for them, refocus on the what's important, which is the birds. And they have a lot of birds under their care, birds that no one will adopt, kind of like the nest. You know where Coco came from? She came from the World Parrot Refuge, and that they stepped up to the plate, and they took on over 500 birds, fundraised, lots of people behind the rescue, and that's where Coco's from, and Floyd, and all that. So I'd love to give them the gift of toy order, like we did with the nest. So my fundraiser, I would like to do, would probably be, let's see, this is all Canadian dollars, so $1,600 for the air cleaner. No, well, $1,300 for the air cleaner on Amazon, and then there's tax, right? So that's about $1,400. $1,600 for the CT scan, so that's $2,000, $3,000. And then a toy order for Greyhaven, which is $2,000, because the minimum order is $2,000. But the order of importance is CT, air cleaner, and then toys. I didn't do anything for them this Christmas, so I'd love to include them in this. So that, how much is that? I gotta recount again. That is, what is that? Okay, I gotta refocus. 1,600 for CT scan. 14 for air cleaner. That's 2, 3. So 5,000 Canadian, which works out to be about 36 or 3,800 U.S. dollars, and I know most of you are that follow me are in the U.S. So hopefully we'll be able to do all that, and I will post that tomorrow. I do not need help with my vet bills because I'm totally capable of working for them. So I know a lot of people have offered. I appreciate that, but I don't need that. It make me much happier to see birds with no families getting things that a family would be able to provide. So that to me is, I'd be grateful for that. Um, there. So that's all I had to say without looking at the chat. How'd I do? Yeah, Gina. Okay, now I can look at the chat, you guys. Thank you for listening to me. Our next big prayer circle will be for Izzy. We love our Izzy. Yeah, we can do. Yeah, that would be good. We can crack that. Yeah. Okay, now let's talk about Duncan. Here she was kind of drowned out by the big birds. And I know a lot of you follow Duncan. You love Duncan. We want to see Duncan. Let's tell me about Duncan. Who's the cockatiel? Blah, blah, blah. And I didn't really um, talk about her as much. She wasn't as popular, but she was loved by many of you. So I'm gonna post the fundraiser tomorrow, and we'll talk about I'll share that. I just gotta get it together to do that. So let's talk about Duncan. Duncan. So I used to work at the care facility. I worked at a psychiatric care facility. I was a manager there. I don't know how I ended up at that job, but I did. I was there. Uh, and the general manager brought in a little bird that she got from a vet, and that was Jamie. And I was just fascinated with Jamie, and I was like, oh my God, I love that bird, Jamie. I was obsessed with Jamie. So I'm like, I want my own bird. So I'm like, how do you get a bird? Blah, blah, blah. Research birds. Where do you get a bird? All I knew is you have to buy a hand-fed cockatiel. So I'm like, okay. And then I found this pet store, and they had two cockatiels, and they had this little conure. This little conure, the pet store lady, I always remember this. They had a little conure there, and the conure would play dead, and people were like, she thought she'd never be able to to find a home for the conure, but she says there's a lot of people that like that kind of bird. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But that was one of the cute stories. So of course I get Duncan. So now I'm like researching. We thought Duncan was a boy. That's why her name is Duncan. Research everything about birds, blah blah blah. I joined this bird board. It was called the Bird Board, and a bunch of nasty people there. But when new people it still happens. You get a bird, you know nothing about them, so you go looking for answers, and a lot of people are really judgmental. So anyways, I was kind of like bullied out of that because I was feeding her honey sticks. All she wanted to eat was honey sticks. I'm like, okay, so I was buying her like 2 or 3 honey sticks a day because that's all she'd eat. I quickly learned that that's not a good diet. That's not a good diet at all, honey sticks. But I didn't know that. And from that experience, I learned that you have to, in order to teach people something, you don't come down hard on them. You are kind to them, and you tell them what you do, and you kind of lead by example. You know what I mean? So I kind of learned that. Anyway, so I was so obsessed with Duncan. Oh my goodness. I was like, I said this before, but when you have a new boyfriend or girlfriend, you're just obsessed with them and that's all you talk about. I was like that. I called Brad at work. I called Jensa. Look, or Brad, Duncan did this. Duncan did that. Duncan chewed the dresser. Isn't that funny? Blah, blah, blah. Both of you are just like nightmares right now. Come down on the ground. If you're not gonna, okay. If you're gonna be on my lap, you gotta behave, okay? Anyway, so I just got her. I brought her every toy I could find. I bought her all the foods. I did everything. Like I was just obsessed. Then I brought Jamie home and thinking that, oh, Duncan would be friends with Jamie. But it didn't end up that way. Duncan was a bully. She was a big bully. She was a big bully. And she couldn't be left around Jamie. My daughter was like 14 then. Then Duncan kind of got really attached. Okay, what? Duncan got really attached to my daughter. And so she kind of became my daughter's bird. My daughter would take her, help her. They'd get ready together in the morning. She'd sit with Jensa. She'd sing to Jensa. And then, of course, as Jensa grows older, starts to move out, she took Duncan with her. And she lived on her own in an apartment with Duncan, just her and Duncan. And Duncan had the run of the place and loved to hang out with Jensa. And Jensa was just like, it was just her and Duncan against the world. And she was in her, teens? Jensa moved out when she was 18, so Jensa wanted to get out of the house. So it was pretty quick. Anyway, so Duncan was, I don't know how old she was then, maybe, 5 years old? So she lived with Jensa, and then, of course, she moved here when she got sick. She moved here, she got sick. She needed to be close to vet care and all that. So a lesson we can learn from that is Duncan got sick because she was around guinea pigs and a turtle. So if any of you guys are listening, it is a bad combination. The water in the turtle tank and the dust from hay is really bad for a bird. I think that's what we attributed the illness to. Anyway, she came here and she loved the front window and she would sit there all the time, and then we moved her. She loved to look out the window and sit in the sun. She wasn't that she wasn't that really adventurous when she came here. I think she was I think after that sickness, she kind of lost her, she didn't like being handled. She doesn't, she was always really grumpy, B-I-T-C-H. She's always been like that, B-I-T-C-H-E. It's a girl thing. But when you talk to her, she would sing to you, and every time Jensa came here, she would sing to Jensa this cutest little song. She loved her mirror. She made sure, we always had made sure she had mirrors, right? She's okay with toys. She wasn't like an aggressive toy bird. She's very hormonal. And she would lay eggs and eggs and eggs, a lifetime of eggs. So those few who have an excessive egg layers, try and get the help that you can for them, because I think that was her demise, was the egg laying. There were times where she had 12 eggs. What else can we say about Duncan? Everyone was obsessed with Duncan. Coco was obsessed with Duncan. Newman loved Duncan. Who else loved Duncan? Kiwi didn't really. Sid was jealous of Duncan. Rue didn't really anything with Duncan. She didn't bother with Duncan. I think Oakley liked Duncan. Didn't you like Duncan? So there we go. So what do you guys think? Oh, the sound's not good. The sound's not good. That's because my battery was running out. Can you hear me better now? Like, when did you stop hearing? Okay, so when did you stop hearing? I can repeat it. What was the last thing you heard? Let me know the last thing you heard, we heard, and then we can go from there. Yeah, my headphones were dying. The beginning of the story? What? Right from when? Like right from the beginning? You got, I was obsessed with her? Okay, let's do it. I was obsessed with her. I compared it to when you got a new boyfriend or a new girlfriend, and that's all you talked about. I would tell everyone about her. I tell everyone I worked with about her. Everything she did was just... Everything she did was like the coolest thing in the world. Okay, where are we? Oh, you could hear it all? Oh, it was choppy. Okay. Oh, yeah. Duncan chewed the dresser. She did all these things. Destroying the house was like... Destroying the house, which to me thought was the best thing in the world, because I thought that was hilarious that she was destroying the house. Which is kind of funny. She was a nice little... Well, no, she was not a nice little girl. She was... she was a grumpy cockatiel. I think she's flying. I don't really think she was happy in the last year or two. I think she was getting up there, and she was happy when Jensen was here at Christmas. Yeah, she was definitely a moody. She'd want you to pet her, and then you pet her, and then she'd bite you, and then pet her again, and bite you, pet her again. And she's like that at Jensen's too. She would be like, Jensen would have people over, and she'd go perch themselves on their lap, like the lap was hers, but the person behind it was not. Like, was the bad thing. Like, so they would go to pet her, and she'd try and bite them and attack them. Duncan was probably, well, Duncan's the same age as Newman, so right, I don't know, 20 something. I don't know. I'm not good with numbers. I can't remember anything. I can't really remember anything. Oh, the visits with her. She wasn't. The doctor, I was worried this morning. I was like, oh, is she suffering? Is she this? Is she that? she was dying, so I guess when you're in that process, you don't like to be handled. That's my experience. In the dying process, they don't want to be touched. They don't want to be handled. No, Floyd was like that. B was like that. Yeah, she was like a cat. Exactly. She was like a little cat. Little grumpy cat. And this little spoiled devil. Food everywhere so I can talk. Coco too. Coco's been getting the treats too because Oakley has. Are you hungry? Is that what the deal was? Didn't you eat your lunch today? Oh, really, Janet? Yeah, she was up there. If I change anything, after you lose a pet and you reflect back on their lives, because, you always have something where you go, okay, what could I have done better? What changes could I have made? That's just a natural process. And I think if I was going to make any changes, I probably would have kept her with me and not sent her off with my daughter. Not because I didn't think that my daughter could care for her. I just think that if she wasn't around the guinea pig and the turtle, there wouldn't have been a problem. Coco's on my lap. Is she on the tape? She is. Well, she's got one foot on the tape. What's she got? Well, it's one foot on the tape and one foot off the tape. Yeah, no fat for Coco, but the doctor said her blood sugar is the most important thing right now. Everything else. Because if you have low blood sugar, How was that a problem? Oh, that's probably the part where you guys couldn't hear. She initially got sick because of the guinea pig hay. When you have your birds around things that okay. What's that word when you purify? What is it? Oh, when you have dried things like hay and all that stuff, birds inhale whatever's in that hay. And hay is not pasteurized. So there's that. And then the turtle water. I did not know all that stuff, so that's where I would, if I could do anything over, that would be it. I'm not saying, I should. I'm not beating myself up over anything because that's not a healthy place to be. We do our best with what we know, and we try to learn something every day. Yeah. Yeah, the hay and who knew that, right? Turtles? Who knew that? An aquarium? Who knew that? You're not going to believe this. Oakley is actually climbing this. He's climbing. Ah! He just climbed the cell phone holder and climbed. You are Oh my goodness, you're strong. Are you up here to complain? I was petting you and you were just yelling at me. Okay. Look at Coco's face. She's so mad. What's with that Oakley, eh, Coco? Did you see that? He climbed right up the cell phone holder. Uh-oh. Here comes the really bad one. Where was the one thing? There's like a lot of people give their birds small rabbit toys or whatever. I remember there's this company in United Kingdom. It was called Rosewood, and they weren't carrying the bird supplies here in Canada. And I imported them, and I took them to my vet, showed her to them, and she goes, oh, all that stuff, all that dried, like the herbs and the hays and all that stuff in the toys is not pasteurized. The turtle chapter is Jensa had a turtle and aquarium, the stuff that comes out of an aquarium, the gases or whatever, it is not good for birds. And I think that's what started her downfall. Okay, so I haven't really been reading the chat, so let's go back to the fundraiser. Do you think we can do that tomorrow? Coco's so funny. She has, I didn't read your comments. I didn't read your comments about when I was talking, because I was just like talking. Thank you, everyone, for all the comments and all the love you sent me this morning. I read them all. I can't comment. I can't respond to all of you. I appreciate it. And I knew that all of you guys were sending her off. Sending her off with love. So I appreciate that. Sometimes we just can't fix them, right? But I appreciate Dr. McDonald so much. So is everyone on board with the fundraiser? You don't have to donate. I know just people that want to. I don't expect everyone to. I appreciate just following my page and liking my videos and pictures. And I mean, it's a lot to... It's a big investment to follow an animal page. You know what I mean? It's like it's an emotional investment. You don't own the animals, but you're emotionally invested, and that's a big it's a big ask and a big investment too. You know what I mean? Oh, they release ammonia? Yeah. And I know you guys all think I'm this greatest person in the world, but I'm just, I always say this. You all recognize something in me that you see in yourself. The only difference is you aren't able to do what I am doing at this moment for various reasons. So we're all good, right? I'm just another person that has a page. And hopefully the message we share is love, commitment, good vet care, healthy diet, diseases that birds get. Anyways, all the things. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate all you guys. And I think that Duncan deserves a fundraiser. She was the first birdie. And she needs to help. She needs to help out, right? And I know you guys always want to help out with my vet bill, but it would definitely make me happier if we could give to the birds that don't have families. You know what I mean? We'll muddle through like we always do. Thank you, everybody. You guys, all the nicest comments. I really appreciate it. So let's have a good look at Izzy. So Izzy's been having a lot of baths lately. Hey, Izzy. Oh, she's banished to a plastic bed. A plastic bed. We'll get her through it. We'll get her through it, and if she doesn't make it, it's her time, right? And we'll just go through it all, like we've done lots of times. But Brad says, I don't care if I have to give her 5 baths a day. We'll stick it out with her. As long as she's comfortable, we'll stick it out, right? So that's where our next prayers are going. Just for whatever is best for Izzy. That's all I care about. Not what's best for me. She has a plastic bed because all her bedding is in the laundry. If you don't know much about Izzy, Izzy has a liver tumor, and she's just she's been having diarrhea and kind of lost control of her bowels since Friday. She is really thirsty and tired, but she's eaten maybe 2.5, 3 cups of food since Friday. She sees the doctor tomorrow, and we'll check her. We'll check her. We'll check her liver values. Brad is in that diarrhea tub. I couldn't do it, but we got. She has the poopiest bum, and we have to fill up the tub to soak her. And Brad gets right in there with his underwear on. Sits in the diarrhea tub, carries her in, covered in diarrhea, gives her a bath, rinses her off, 4 loads of laundry later. We're doing the same thing again. She's due to go out right now, so I'm going to have to let you guys go. Tomorrow I'll post the fundraiser. What we'll do is we'll start the fundraiser for Duncan, and I hope that we can get our goal, right? Right? Oakley needs a man cave. He's been really bossy. Look at him. Oakley, do you want to show yourself? Look at him. Oakley needs a man cave. Where are we going to put your man cave, huh? You just say, I just fed your face with treats. All that. Just to keep you quiet. Oh, and there's Oakley. There's Coco. She's mad. I don't know. She's mad. Lou was up to something. Look at this. What's going on? What are these up to? Let's do the switcheroo. Oh. Sorry, guys. Everyone's tearing up the town. We got our new dishwasher tomorrow. So thank you, everyone, and you'll hear from me tomorrow, and I appreciate you all for listening. We always have to do a debrief after something traumatic, and I know you guys need it as much as I do. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Oh, gosh. Hey! Okay. Okay. Coco's okay. Don't you get mad. Here. Rope. Coco, come here. Oh, my goodness. You landed on your feet that time. Okay, everyone. Woo, boy. Let's end with a bang.